Jimin was already struggling with the cold and reportedly not feeling well when heavy rain began pouring over Rogers Stadium, but what he did next left thousands of army completely stunned. He took off his own jacket and gave it to a freezing fan. Why would Jimin sacrifice his only protection from the cold while he was struggling himself? And what happened next may have made this Toronto night even more unforgettable. The rain was pouring heavily over Rogers Stadium during Day 2 of BTS's ARIRANG World Tour in Toronto, creating an emotional and challenging atmosphere for both the members and fans. Despite the freezing weather and relentless rain, thousands of armies remained in the crowd, determined to experience the concert until the very end. But amid the difficult conditions, one unexpected moment involving Jimin quickly caught everyone's attention. Jimin, who was reportedly not feeling well and was also visibly affected by the cold and rain, noticed a fan struggling with the freezing conditions. Instead of simply continuing with the performance, he reportedly took off his jacket and handed it to the fan. The gesture immediately touched those nearby, especially because Jimin himself appeared to need the warmth. What made the moment even more emotional was the fact that Jimin was already performing under harsh weather conditions. Heavy rain continued to fall as the concert went on, leaving the stage and surrounding area soaked. Yet, even while dealing with the cold and his own condition, Jimin still appeared concerned about the comfort of the fan in front of him. Fans who witnessed the moment were quick to praise Jimin's kindness, with many describing it as one of the most unforgettable moments of the Toronto concert. Some fans said they were amazed that he would give away something that could have helped keep him warm, especially when he was reportedly not feeling his best. The moment became a powerful reminder that behind the spectacular lights, music, and performances, Jimin continues to show genuine care toward ARMY through heavy rain, freezing temperatures, and his own discomfort. His simple gesture of giving his jacket to a cold fan turned an already unforgettable night into an emotional memory that fans are unlikely to forget. The night was already unforgettable, but no one expected the second day of BTS's ARIRANG World Tour in Toronto to become this emotional. As thousands of ARMY gathered at Rogers Stadium, heavy rain began pouring over the venue, turning the highly anticipated concert into a battle against the cold and wet weather. The atmosphere inside the stadium was electric despite the difficult conditions. Fans had waited for this moment for so long, and even the rain could not stop them from cheering for BTS. But as the temperature dropped and the rain became heavier, concerns about the fans' comfort and safety began to grow. Jimin was also facing the harsh weather from the stage. Throughout the performance, he appeared to be dealing with the cold while continuing to give his best to the audience. Fans were particularly concerned because Jimin was reportedly not feeling completely well that night. Yet, instead of focusing only on himself, Jimin appeared to notice something happening among the fans. One fan near the front was struggling with the cold, and what happened next quickly became one of the most talked about moments of the night. Jimin reportedly took notice of the fan and decided to give them his jacket. For a moment, the gesture seemed almost unbelievable. With heavy rain still falling, Jimin himself was exposed to the cold. Yet he chose to give away the extra layer that could have helped keep him warm. The fan appeared caught completely off guard by the unexpected gesture. What began as an ordinary moment during a massive concert suddenly became deeply personal. creating an emotional connection between the idol and the ARMY. Standing in front of him, the timing made the gesture even more touching. Jimin was already dealing with the cold, and fans had reportedly been worried about his condition. Giving away his jacket meant that he would have even less protection from the freezing weather. Heavy rain continued to fall over Rogers Stadium as the concert moved forward. The stage became increasingly wet, while the crowd remained determined to keep singing, cheering, and supporting BTS. For ARMY, the situation created a strange mixture of excitement and concern. They had come to see an incredible performance, but seeing Jimin apparently struggle with the cold made some fans wonder whether he was pushing himself too hard. Then came the jacket moment. Instead of stepping back or ignoring the situation, Jimin appeared to make a decision that required almost no words. He simply gave the jacket to the fan, turning a small piece of clothing into one of the most meaningful gestures of the evening. Fans immediately reacted emotionally. Some described the moment as heartbreaking because Jimin was reportedly cold himself. Others praised him for thinking about an ARMY member even while he was dealing with difficult conditions. But another question began circulating among fans. Who was taking care of Jimin? Jimin had just given away something that could have helped him stay warmer. With rain continuing to fall, the concerns surrounding his condition became even more noticeable. The scene created an emotional contrast that was difficult to ignore. Thousands of fans were cheering for Jimin, while Jimin appeared to be worrying about whether one fan was warm enough. It was almost as if the roles had been reversed. ARMY came to Rogers Stadium to support BTS, but in that moment, Jimin seemed determined to make sure an ARMY member was okay. His simple gesture reminded fans why moments between BTS and their audience can feel so personal. Even inside a stadium filled with thousands of people, the heavy rain only intensified the emotion. Water continued pouring down while the music played. Lights flashed across the stadium, and fans screamed the lyrics along with the members. Despite the circumstances, Jimin continued performing professionally. Whatever discomfort he may have been experiencing, he remained focused on the stage and the audience. That dedication also made fans more worried. Seeing him continue performing while reportedly feeling unwell and dealing with the cold raised questions about how difficult the concert must have been behind the scenes. Still, Jimin did not allow the weather to completely take away from the night. Instead, he continued interacting with the audience and delivering the performance. ARMY had traveled to Toronto to see, and then there was the jacket. For some fans, it was no longer simply a jacket. It became a symbol of Jimin's willingness to put someone else's comfort before his own. Even during a night when he could have easily prioritized himself, social media reactions quickly turned emotional, with fans describing Jimin's gesture as one of the most memorable moments from the Toronto concert. Many were touched by the fact that his kindness came at a time when he appeared to need warmth himself. At the same time, fans continued expressing concern for Jimin. They celebrated his thoughtful gesture, but they also hoped he was receiving enough care and rest while dealing with the difficult weather. The night became more than just another concert date. BTS and ARMY were experiencing the storm together, standing under the same rain while refusing to let the weather completely destroy the atmosphere. And perhaps that is what made Jimin's gesture so powerful. In the middle of a massive production filled with lights, choreography, and thousands of screaming fans, one small act of kindness suddenly became the moment everyone remembered. Jimin gave his jacket to a fan while he was reportedly cold himself, and he continued performing through the heavy rain. But as the night continued and Jimin stood on stage without that extra layer, one question remained in the minds of ARMY. Would he be able to make it through the rest of the concert without putting his own health at risk?